When life happens, it breaks the skin. It breaks the skin so you can heal, rebuild, renew, and start again. Thank you for joining me. My name is Misha. This is Famished for More. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe channel, hit the subscribe button, and subscribe to the channel. Now, I just want to get into a download that I received about my circumstances, and it took me like full circle, and it's something that resonates with me now more. And I was wondering, I'm asking God, why is it resonating with me more now than it did before? And what I got is the pain. Like, yes, you received the message, but it didn't resonate with you because there was things that had to be done. You had to go through the pain. You had to go through some bruising. You had to get some skin torn. Things had to be healed in you in order for you to resonate with the message. Things had to be released from you that was hindering you from even resonating with that message to bring, things into your life. And I've been through a lot, and I'm sure a lot of you that are listening, just living life, you go through a lot, and it's so unexpected. Some things are out of your control. My biggest loss was losing people physically to this realm. They're gone. And those are things that you have no control over. You just have to learn how to maneuver in life, a new reality without the people that you love. And I didn't deal with that right. You know what I'm saying? I went straight to working. It's like that whole chunk of life is like blinking fuzzy to me, because I wasn't living intentionally. I was just moving by autopilot. That was a part of, okay, we're going to talk about injury. I'm going to talk about it in a physical term. So I had to hurt the muscles. I had to bruise the bones. I had to break in all these ways. When things happen outside of our control, it's a part of the destiny. You got to think about that. You signed up to come here and to heal through losing these people, to heal through losing these situations, going through these situations. You knew, your higher self knew that you were going to face these things. But it's for a better purpose, whatever that is in your life. And as you begin to heal from being broken from different situations, the truth starts to be revealed to you if you allow it to. See, for years, I didn't allow the lesson to seep in because, again, I was in a fog. I was not sitting down. I was not healing. I was just jumping from one thing to the next. Not understanding it's a root cause of why I'm not receiving the fruits of my labor. I'm not receiving the reciprocal energy from others that I was seeking, I guess. None of that was going to come to me until I went through my necessary hurt and my necessary healing. And the more I pushed it away, I was hurting myself. But something happened. I had a stroke. I had to sit down. For the last 3 years, going on 4 years now, I've been healing, renewing, building those scabs, flexing those muscles, getting the blood flowing again through the body, through the injured limbs. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about just metaphor. But through all of that, it revealed to me the things that I was enlightened to a decade or so ago triggered the awakening to where I'm at now. See, a lot of the things that I was learning, I wasn't ready for those things yet. I had to go through trial and tribulation to get there mentally, spiritually, and emotionally to even dissect those things that I was learning back then. I didn't even know what was going to be ahead of me when I was asking. You ask, you literally do receive. I was asking big. But I didn't know that required my life to go through a complete turnaround, like a dismantle in so many ways. Because I sit down and I think about when I decided I wanted to elevate, I wanted to be in this manifestation type of world. I wanted to learn my higher self. I wanted to just live a different life, think a different way. And so I got addicted to listening to the Wayne Dyers, to the Tony Robbins, to the Abraham Hicks. I can go on and on because it was so many. The Secret, that movie, it sparked it for me. So I went searching everybody that was in that film. I studied them and it just went from there. But I wasn't ready. Although I was taking in all that information, I was not ready. That's why I wasn't physically seeing the fruits of all of the things I was learning. It was not applying to my life, but it was going in that subconscious. But it was only going to be there for when when the time was needed, right? It's like I planted a seed over a decade ago, but I had to grow as a person to even spark the growth of that seed. I didn't know the road ahead after asking big. But when you ask big of life, life requires you to become a bigger person spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally. We ask for big things and don't understand that in the present moment that you're asking for these things, your life does not align with the vision. There is surgery that has to be done to your life in order for it to align. And you can vibrate for what you're asking. And again, things are out of your control, but your higher self signed up for it, asked for it, or at least knew it was going to happen and knew that you would be strong enough to get through it. I started searching for so much. Like I said, this awakening started for me over 10 years ago. I'm going to say about 12 to 14 maybe. And it was like it was getting me ready for all of the shit that was finna hit me from that time up until now. Because I always was able to go back. I believe that's what helped me be able to float above it and not get sucked too much into it. Like when I say that, I mean like to just go into autopilot and I became a workhorse. So I didn't do anything but work and go home. Like I literally cut life out. No dating, no socializing. I did nothing. Work and go home. And I was fine with that because I had already conditioned my mind after my mother passed away. I guess that's how I was dealing with the hurt. And then you fast forward, and I had a stroke, and I was forced to sit down and deal with everything because I couldn't work. And then I started to see this was the work of something I triggered years ago. In order for me to have the enlightenment that I have now, the spiritual connection that I have now, the understanding and awareness that I have now, I had to go through all of those traumatic things because my purpose is bigger than what I thought when I asked for the bigger things. See, I was asking of material things then. And so going through what I've been through and where I'm at currently, I give gratitude. And then it made me think about a quote that I took from Tony Robbins years ago. And I wrote it down on a poster board. And I took it with me every time I moved. And I would roll it up. And so I'm in my current house. And I have set up me a little like affirmation room. And I pulled it out and I put it on the wall. And I was having a download this morning. God reminded me of that. And I was like, oh my God, it's full circle. It is full circle for just everything. It makes so much sense now. And when I was asking from a material way, from a material mind space of wanting things, earthly type of thing, I was saying those, like, because I used to chant it to myself, thinking that was going to bring it to me. There's like, if I say this over and over again, I'm going to believe it. I'm not understanding you to believe, to say you believe something, to actually know and believe something are totally different. At that time, I was saying I believed it, thinking about if I chant it every day and I memorize it, it will become true. It's a whole nother side to that, to actually bring that quote to life within inside of you in a different way. And so now I go back in there and I looked at it. I took a picture. I said, I have to talk about this because I see it differently now. After going through everything, being instructed to read certain scriptures through the things I was going through, the teachings of the Bible, the teachings of Jesus, all of those things that I learned through my times of hurt, because that's what I turned towards. I didn't turn to people. I worked and I learned a lot of things to learn. I was trying to learn how to heal myself from the hurt that it's undescribable, so I couldn't talk to others, but I had to search, and that's when I became just so intrigued with the paranormal side of things. Where do the dead go? What is spirit? And it just went from there. And it brought me right back to this quote. And now I can receive the quote and understand it 100% versus I did in the past, because I was looking at it through different eyes. Now I can see clearly and understand what Tony Robbins meant. And that's why the manifestations happen in his life, and anybody that uses that actually understands it. So I'm going to share it. I'm going to flash a little picture of it I took and put it on the screen as well. And yeah, now I understand it. It all makes sense. It says, God's wealth is circulating in my life. His wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. All my needs, desires, and goals are met instantaneously by infinite intelligence, where I am one with God, and God is everything. Now, it may sound, woo-woo at first, when you're thinking about, wealth and abundance and all of those things. But at the end of the day, it starts with self and knowing that you are one with God. And God is everything. Everything is made from God. There is no apart from God. And you have to be sometimes broken down and stripped of everything in your life to understand the power of those words. And I went through that. All my needs, desires, and goals were met instantaneously with infinite intelligence when I was stripped of everything and I truly believed I had no other way to go. And us humans so hard-headed, sometimes we have to go through that was very traumatic, right? I hope nobody's lesson is as traumatic as I had to experience, losing everything almost. But sometimes the lesson is that traumatic, so you can get silent and understand everything you ask for comes from within. When you seek yourself within, you seek God within, all the answers come to you, all the blessings flow to you, and it comes to you through people, places, things, circumstances. But you'll never see that if you're so blinded with the material things of life. That'll weigh us all down. And so sometimes things have to happen. You would think losing somebody or this and that would shake me up, but it didn't, because it wasn't. Yes, I lost someone. I had to learn to heal from that, which I didn't do right in the moment, but it took for me personally to go through something, losing my strength and ability, losing my way to provide for myself, to put my total trust in the Lord, my total trust in spirit, infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call the Most High, the all that is. And once you realize you are one with that, everything else is one with that. There's nothing outside of you. Then you can call everything to you. But you first got to understand this and believe this with all your whole heart, with everything in you and for you to. That's going to allow you to vibrate. It puts you in a different frequency when you actually believe the words you see on the screen. I was down giving this This is a gem. I was given this gem from God through Tony Robbins over 10 years ago. But in order for me to actually dissect that and start to live it, I had to go through some shit to actually understand. It's more than just manifesting a house, a car, and this and that. No, you gotta believe that you are one with God. You have to go through some shit and experience God in your life in a real way that you know nobody else could have done it but him, her, it, the, everything. It couldn't happen through humans. So when you know that in your testimony, you've seen that, you went through that, this quote hits differently. This quote hits so much different now than when I wrote this down. I tell you. So when you activate wanting to know more about God, truly, be prepared, because it's not going to be like a beautiful journey. You're going to have to get some scars, some bruises, some bumps, some hurts, some losses, but it builds you. It builds you and it gives you the answers that your soul truly needs for you to prosper in this life. It gives you the answers when you trigger that question, when you go to asking big and you want to tell God to reveal things to you, show you what you're here for. Then you start seeing you got to be put in training to get to that. And it's not going to be easy. But who you become after that is worth it. It's so worth it. And you can build from that. And building from that is success in every area of your life. Without a doubt, trusting in something bigger than you. So that allows you to not be stressed out and getting weighed down by the low vibrational things. You're only human. It pops up, but because you know better, you release and you move on and you allow things to show up in your life when they're supposed to and how they're supposed to. You allow things to leave your life without fighting it. Understanding it is all in divine purpose. It's hard to believe in that and try not to let yourself get involved. So sometimes God has to knock us down a peg for us to understand you don't got the power. I have the power. And if you allow me to be God in your life, I'll show you. And then you'll start to see all your needs, desires, and goals are always met instantaneously. But you'll begin to see them more. You'll begin to recognize it daily. Because it just sparks something in you now. Now you're aware. And once you're aware, it makes you a magnet. And it makes you a better person. So, I want to wish you all a great day. Whoever's listening to this, wish you peace, love, and happiness. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.